we're gonna today walk the path together of understanding why do we need PMOs and how to construct them quickly, what are their components, and what TPG can offer on your way to success with managing the projects, the programs, and setting up a PMO in your company or organization. So the offer we put together, this approach, has been baptized Harmony. Harmony in the sense of harmonization. We're going to see why in a second, but why did we at TPG put together efforts and vision and workshops and defining a solution for improving project management, operations, and delivery? You can Google all over the net if you look for, I use the keyword failed projects. You can have many sources and many examples over the past why project failed. They overrun their delay, they overrun their budget, the scope and the quality of feature was not there. And when you have a deep look at the literacy and the examples and the reasons, you find usual suspects of failure are linked with poor standard of project management within the company, poor definition of success on where the project should stop because it's achieved and completed, and very often poor insight and poor visibility from the managing team who doesn't have the right information and the right view to make the right decision. I'm running this webinar in French in 2 days for the French audience, and I named it, I called my advertisement through LinkedIn was something like, it takes 99 days for a board of director in a project or a program to realize they don't have control. Well, 99 days, it's the time it takes to set up a PMO, so maybe we should put first things first. So that's why PMOs were invented and implemented and are running around projects and company and programs and portfolios and etc. It's to get better insight, better control, standardized definition, coaching, etc., etc. That's what PMOs are for. So we reach our first step after one slide, just to put you in the rhythm. Do you have a PMO in your company? So Arim, maybe you want to comment on the poll.
Yes, we have a PMO and are happy with it. It's 2%. Yes, we have a PMO with room for improvement. It's 48%. No, we are in the process of setting up a PMO, 28%. No, we will start building within the next 12 months, 11%, and 11% also do not need a PMO at the moment. Thank you for that.
So PMO exists to improve and improve visibility, control, insight, definition, standardization, etc. But to what level? You or maybe it's a personal experience. I've been in 22 years in that business. I've seen all type of PMOs. PMOs that were fulfilled just by human beings with Excel sheets all over the place. PMOs that had state-of-the-art tool but didn't know how to use it. PMO who had very professional certified project manager but no process to define. So Gartner in 2008, here we go, created this matrix trying to assess and map the maturity level of the PMO versus the three main components: people, process, and what they call technology, what I call tool. Any system, if you think of it, even playing Monopoly at home on a Sunday with a kid, every system is made of tools, and in the case of Monopoly, it's the board and the little houses and hostels. You need rules, that's the processes, how are we going to play that game? And you need people educated who knows the stake. Is it a championship of Monopoly? Is it just a casual game? Etc. And you need the three at the same level. If you have a very complicated set of rules, like war games, when I was a kid, I used to play war games, that would take me a month just to understand the rules. And my level as people was not high enough. I was a teenager kid to understand everything and anything there. Something was off. You can have the best technology ever. If you don't have a rule and process and people to use it, it's useless. So you need to have a reasonable alignment on the level of the people, the process, and the tool driving your system being your portfolio and project management system. From our personal experiences, we reckon that 80% of the projects and programs around the planet can be managed and dealt with a level 3 Gartner level 3 organization for the PMO. What it says that things are formalized and prepared, basically, that the processes are established from the portfolio to the project delivery, that portfolio tool is in place, you get dashboard, you get what most of the tools on the market offer nowadays, Microsoft Project, OPX2 from Planisware, and those guys, they fulfill totally those requirements. And financial management, you can manage costs, you know, your benefits, your budget, you can manage extensions, scope change, etc. We believe in the 80-20 rule, this is sufficient to manage most of the project. So we are engineering and we're delivering through Harmony a way to make any company from level 0 or 1, beginning in project management already with a slight touch of it, to reach level 3. But it's not a single pathway, it's a triple pathway. You need to take care about your people, you need to take care about your processes, you need to take care about your technology overall. So what we did after Gartner in 2008, we put a landscape of the disciplines into which a PMO normally evolves. A PMO goes from the idea generation management, turning them into qualified demands, feeding the portfolio. The portfolio is assessed every 6 months, every year, depending on the company. And then it will derive and launch projects, programs, or small enhancements, for all of which is to capture the benefits that were imagined during the ID generation management. So it's a loop. And PMOs sometimes only take care of portfolio. You got portfolio PMOs, only project management, only program. But overall, most PMOs will have to tackle those disciplines. So all this being supported by, if possible, a single tool set. Forget about Excel everywhere. Governance, you need instances, decision making, and change, being change management for the humans. The population that is navigating through PPM concept doesn't know everything and anything about all this. What's the rule of that game? What tool do I use? What sense do I make into this? So that's the basis. Maturity around the people, process, and tool axis in those disciplines. So TPG came up with a enhanced metrics from Gartner. We make it evolve. We were 12 years later. And we took all those disciplines that you saw on this picture and we put them as core disciplines. And then we also got PPM enabling, what helps for your PPM operation. And again, we got 5 levels, and we believe operating at level 3 here is the way to operate project programs in the real world. How does that work? Well, we're going to assess where you start from, your organization, in all those disciplines by interviewing people and putting them score on the metrics. So for instance, let's focus on one of those disciplines called project management here, the 4th one, because we're all acquainted with project management. After interviewing a group of stakeholders, we realized people, the PMI certified, PMP, 7 years experience average, very good people, good background, very nice recruitment of those as project manager, so they're pretty high level. Processes, when we studied what are the processes at hand, how they were applied or not, we realized there was a project handbook created 10 years ago. Nobody ever made it evolve, lacking concepts. And it probably describes the scheduling, updating process to what we estimate a level 2. And the tool is an Excel tool, is the only software available in the company. That's like usual suspect. It happens very often, we discover that. So when we map this, we can see where each people, process, tool levels are on this matrix for the project management discipline. And we would do it again for demand management, portfolio management, et cetera, et cetera. The company wants to reach level 3 of operation. It means that for the people who we consider our level 4, we don't need to down train them. We just need to communicate and make them understand we're going to operate at level 3. You guys are very good. For your expectation, we're not going to operate at your natural level. We're going to operate one level down. But for processes and tool, it means we need to enrich the methodology, the tool, we need a decent tool to operate at level 3. And that's our roadmap to progress to reach that level 3, supported by our PMO there. And you got to do that for every discipline and every area of the organization that's in the scope of PPM and we need to interview. So now that you've seen all this, and I'm going to put back the picture of the matrix, how do you evaluate yourself, your organization, in that matrix? And we're going to use that one. So improvise, repeatable, define, manage, master, or level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's this a little survey there that Arim is going to pop up.
So the participants evaluate their state as almost 30% maturity metrics level 1, almost 50% maturity metrics level 2, and 70% have maturity metrics level 3.
That's great.
And also 4% level 4 and 2% level 5. Wow,
oh my gosh!
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure how many QuickStarts made for you, but 80%, if I sum up what you said, of our participants consider themselves in level 1 or 2, which matches what we see on the field when we do consulting on PPM. That's the state of the planet, indeed. Yes. So the effort to reach level 3 is not that big, but we first need to understand where we start with on all those disciplines for the people, process, and tool axis. Okay, great. Now, what's Harmony then? How does it help? Now that we've got our roadmap to progress, we know we're going to have to push a bit on the tool set or more on the process part, or maybe it's more of a human thing. And we need to harmonize those 3 components to the same level. So Harmony is a framework based on 4 components. I'm going to detail them in the slides to come and show them with demo. So the first component is your processes, the methodology. And you can write books and books and books, and I've seen PM handbooks all my life, 200 pages. I've seen one with 600 pages one day. Nobody ever read it. We don't like to read. We want the information to be accessible when we need it on the scope of things we are doing. I don't want to have to browse through a 600-page document. So we invented a PMO in a box kit. It's an electronic platform that guides the user per his role, PMO, project manager, director, to what do I have to do now that my project is in that stage and what's my next deliverable. And I've got my templates at hand. It's connected to my Microsoft project system in our case, and we'll demo that in a second. So that's where I got all my referential of my rule book, but it's an assisted rule book if you wish. The program, I'm going to go down to the tool set. So I need something better than Excel to manage project with rescheduling possibility, maybe with a data mart for my documents, risk issues, change request, and etc. I need reporting capability. I don't want to draw reports from Excel to PowerPoint by copy and paste anymore. I want automation. So we're in a modern world, we're in 2020, and we linked Microsoft Project Online system with a TPG layer to the process kit and Harmony. So here's my process, here's my tool, and my people in Harmony would be a training academy. I'll get back to that in a second, but that Harmony concept is for big and major programs. I'm talking about Olympics organization size. We got a QuickStart, which is a lighter version of this, a quicker one, but I need to introduce you first to the big deal and what we do at TPG to help our client managing their programs and projects. And finally, we got the support services. When you start a program, you don't necessarily have your PMO in place, but you're starting. And if it takes 99 days, how do I survive the first 99 days if my system is not in place? Well, we can staff if you're lacking resources with specialists, and I get back to that too. So Harmony is a solution that mingles the methodology, the tool set, and the people level so that we can deliver our projects to the level 3 or higher. So let's have a bit of detail there. So the methodology framework is basically a one-stop shop where a user, according to what he needs to get, can have all information about, in my organization, how do we do cost control? I've got an issue. How do I raise it? How do we maintain it? And all that is text-based, picture-based, map-based and of course template-based. But those templates are not Word documents, they're electronic forms in the SharePoint system of project. Everything's been integrated. So I don't have to open 6 different tools. I've got my frontal page, and from there I can reach each element according to the stage gate I'm in. What does it look like? Well, we are working on several versions. We have a whole dinosaur type version. We're trying to make it nicer. Let me give you a quick look how it works. But again, this is a draft. So there we go. So that would be an entry page. And from there, I got my model picture. All right, this is my mapping. And from each of the stage gates, I got processes, phases, documents. For instance, on processes, this is the processes that are available in my organization. And they've been worked out through workshops with TPG so that we, from Prince 2, PMI, or even personal experience, managed to create rules of the game that address the problematic of the PPM in the company organization to the right level. We're not going to write 600 pages if we need 20 or 10 or 3 or a big picture. A good picture is worth 1,000 words, they say. And for each of them, then I can drill down and I've got all my instruction, when, who, what, where. I've got all my deliverable documents. So they're not addressed per gate there, but they will be soon. We're working on this. And then I can see if those documents available are guides, examples, templates, all my team document, process document, etc. So that's a draft for a client, but this is connected to Microsoft Project. When you call a charter from your process box, PMO in a box, it's called PMO in a box. When you call your charter, it's an electronic form from a SharePoint that automatically feeds data into the schedule. Everything's integrated to make life easier. The second part is the tool set. So we are a gold partner with Microsoft, and we're doing pretty good with Microsoft Project Online System and Server. And that's basically all the feature that such modern tools offer. We favor Microsoft for our history and because it's very efficient to deploy, and the price is pretty good. So we base Harmony on Microsoft Project, but you could consider acquiring separate elements of Harmony. I'm just interested in the toolbox, or just the process box, or just the training. But overall, if you want the big picture, we interface it with Microsoft Project. So for people who are not acquainted, what's the platform we use? That's Microsoft Project out of the box that you see now. That's what Microsoft delivers. We need customization. It's pretty raw. I'm just going to show you what we deliver in Harmony. Okay, so that's the Harmony Microsoft Project layered from TPG. Here we go. So you see the look and feel has changed. And I've got, for some reason, this one's in French. Did I request it in English or in French? US is better. Here we go. There we go. So it's the same platform with English. So here you can find all your disciplines. Demand management, we call requests, the project management in Project Center. Of course, such a tool can manage your resource capability and availability. Everything I've got to approve as a manager, project manager, head of a silo. My portfolio strategy, here's my portfolio management. And what you see, for instance, in the Project Center is that, of course, my projects are organized by line of portfolio and programs. I got indicator. Nothing's out of the box from Microsoft. We put a layer on this so that everything looks better and we get better access to our data. So I can walk you around Microsoft Project for hours, but that's not the goal. What I want to show you also is that including in our offer is all the report system out of the box with the Harmony. And that reports, as you can see on the left, everything dealing with demand, with the portfolio, with projects, with euros or dollars or whatever currency you use. For instance, my portfolio cost summary, and this is live, it updates real time. And all that's integrated and included in the offer of the Harmony for the tool part system. Okay, so where are we? We got a PMO in a box that synthesizes and regroups all the processes that have been worked out priorly with clients during workshops by our processes consultant and PMO consultants. where we agree what are the rules and what are not. We've got now a tool set that's fully customized, as you can see, ready to work out of the box and in phase with the processes we put in the PMO in the box, of course. Then we get the academy. The idea is for large programs or big organization, we're not just going to train people forever. We're going to train trainers and install into your organization a department for training on project management. It's part of the roadmap to progress, to increase the common sense we make and what we do as humans with project management. So that's all the areas where we can train and bring our knowledge to help your company organize its academy for training. Remember, this is for big projects. And finally, the fourth block is when you start a program, as I said, you don't necessarily have all resources at hand. We at TPG do have them, and we propose on a daily rate to bring those resources to help you jumpstart your PMO and your program. Okay, so I've talked about Harmony, but what's QuickStart? Just like Microsoft Project sells its software and it can accommodate any type of organization and big projects, etc., TPG created a QuickStart of it, which is what you just saw. It's a layered, fully integrated Microsoft project with a lot of customization that we did for all our clients who take the QuickStart road. What take the QuickStart road? Why? Because it's quick, and cheap, because it's pre-configured. So the same with Harmony. Harmony, it's an advanced PMO solution with a full PMO in a box approach with maybe 20, 30 processes of project management. It's a training academy for a long time that we install on a client site. So it's really made for large programs to accommodate things like the Olympic, aerospace, shipyard, construction. That's the big Harmony. And we derive a QuickStart. So QuickStart is the same wheel, but it's deployed in 99 days at a fixed price, includes fixed processes, and the Microsoft project TPG layered system I just showed you. And instead of an academy, we just do training. We train PMOs not only to techniques and processes, we train PMOs to PMOs behavior. What to do when I've got an incident on my project? How do I deal with problematic stakeholders? How do I deal with politics and decision? What's my attitude when a project manager, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not just technique, it's also behavior. So the QuickStart is that PMO in a box plus the tool plus the training delivered in 99 days. But to do that, we limit ourselves to the 7 functional areas we find in PMOs. Remember, we don't want to reach level 5, NASA. We want to reach level 3, which is acceptable for most projects and programs and organizations. And to quickly start, we isolate 7 basic processes that we feel, and there's been a lot of discussion internally, you can imagine, what are the 7 processes we should single out so that it makes sense in your project management organization? Charter, schedule, cost, resource, risk, stakeholder, and closing. That's what we feel. We can change that. In that offer, there's a couple of days of consulting. If you want to add one, if you want to change one, it's possible. What we do is we've got pre-ready set of processes behind these. How do you build a charter? What should be in there? And we can always accommodate in workshops for each topic. This is what PMO in the box got. What do you think of it? How's your organization processing things? And do we need to change anything, the organization or the rules? And this is a compromise for those 7. So this is aimed at QuickStart for organization between 0 and 1 PPM maturity in the Gartner, very low maturity, and they want to jumpstart to operate projects that are bigger than what they can manage at the moment in less than 99 days. That's the schedule. So you can see you get a whole PMO in a box implementation. That's where we got our workshop, where we can adjust and brainstorm of what TPG proposes, which is not rocket science. We take it from PMI. That's the concepts, general concepts of PMI in Prince 2, really. How do we start a project? What's the cost? What's the element? How do you build a budget, a business case, things like that. And the PMO in a box will have all the documents, instruction, collaterals, satellites around each of those 7 processes that are linked with the tool. Here is the PPM QuickStart tool in blue that we deploy with the reporting services. And finally, we operate the training. You see the 3 levels, PMO, PM, resource, and resource manager. Of course, PMO and PM's got most of the bulk. especially PMOs, as we need to really to teach them. There's no school for PMO, and you don't learn PMO in PMI books. You learn PMO from your peers and from experience, and that's what TPG we're bringing forward. I said QuickStart is a fixed price package, and that's the detail. That's quoted for 8 PMO members, 20 PMs, 8 resource manager, 100 resources, which is something that's the average size of the organization that are between level 0 and 1 and wants to reach level 3, we think. We can increase that number. That will automatically have impacts on the budget because of the training, because of the licensing of some of the tools that TPG puts together. And the grand total is 157,000 euro for having in 99 days of duration, in 3 months basically, your PMO running, your people trained to operate in that scope, a tool that's performant and ready to work with your processes, and an integration. I think I'm done, and I'm a bit early, but I think we got a survey, don't we, at this moment? Maybe we can take a lot of questions.
No, we don't have a survey anymore. It's only when we close the webinar, then the final survey will come up.
So maybe questions then, or?
Yes, we have 3 questions so far. The first one, if we don't use Microsoft, is there a way to purchase the processes separately?
Yes, absolutely. And that's why we did that cost chart to show that we can separate the PMO in the box on the top from the QuickStart, which is the tool. Again, because we did a lot of homework at TPG, we integrated the two of them. There are triggers between the PMO in the box will trigger the opening of a project plan in Microsoft and things like that, or the creation of a plan. If you take another tool, we don't have those interfaces ready at hand. So either you disconnect it and you have the PMO in the box solution on its own and a tool on the side, or you provide some days to TPG to remake those connections with whatever tool you can provide. And again, the training then will be limited, and we will not train on your tool unless you ask us. We will limit the training to the PMO in the box usage. So this is a set price for the full package, but we can pick into it to what is needed from you. But we also may need to make some adjustment because the scope might change. But yes, we're flexible about how we organize. Our recommendation, of course, is take the full Harmony QuickStart system, but there's no problem. We can pick and choose.
Okay, there's the next question regarding to that. Is the license included?
Not the Microsoft project license.
Microsoft license, yes.
No, it is not, because we in Germany, TPG is allowed to sell the licenses, but not in France, not in the US, because of Microsoft laws about licensing. So in any case, you're going to have to get the licenses from Microsoft or one of their resellers. And again, TPG Germany is a reseller, but not the other subs. The license that are included, though, are these, the 3 at the bottom. Again, Power BI, you can download Power BI for free from Microsoft, and it's going to take you 3 months to devise those 42 reports. We sell the package report of 42 reports for that amount of money included in our bundle. And the Project Link, again, optional. Project Link allows to do cross-project milestone management, which is the biggest problem with programs. Programs are a set of projects that are interrelated, and it's a nightmare, a spaghetti bowl to understand, okay, if that milestone moves for 3 weeks, what's the impact on the rest of the projects? And TPG deployed and created a very interesting, easy to use tool with simulation of impact and previews of the impact over the whole portfolio. And we include that in that approach because we are trying to equip a PMO, and PMO are gonna have to face with those interconnected milestones. So that license is included. You tell me my PMO doesn't operate any program, we can remove it and it's flexible.
Okay, which Microsoft license level do you need?
We are very happy with Project Online and anything beyond 2013. Reason is Microsoft changed the structure of the databases quite drastically when we arrived to Project 2013 server, and 2013, 16, 19 are compatible with what we're doing there.
Okay.
Server, of course. If you just have the desktop, doesn't have enough power to plug the PMO in the box and to operate what I showed you. I actually didn't show you the rich client. I only showed you the light client. Yeah, no, that was reported there.
Then are there additional ongoing hosting costs?
Interesting. You could choose, let me get back to my PowerPoint here. Here, and we go back to the big picture. So for the tool, if you get Project Online or any editor that's got online services, no, you don't pay for your architecture and your hosting. If you got Project Server, which is locally in your house installed on your servers, then of course you need to have the architecture for. The PMO in a box, we can host it, or you can have it within your hosts. We're thinking of, we've got an offer to host it internally if you don't want to summon and bring on your architects and your database people and you want easy access. Yes, we can host it. So it's possible, but you can also host it on your side. Depends. Flexible on this one.
Any annual subscription costs or once-off layoff?
You buy once and you're done. Unless, except for Microsoft Project Online, which is a Microsoft way of selling and subscribing and etc. We don't take that into our scope, the way you're gonna get your Microsoft project system from them, on premises or subscription. But no, this is fixed priced.
Okay, then we have some questions about Agile. Your solution is focused on PM book traditional methods. Are you looking at a solution that caters for Agile methods or approaches, like scaled Agile?
Ooh, okay. All right, so QuickStart is not. QuickStart is oriented towards classical, old school, if I may say so, though I love it, project management. Because the processes we put in there, the tool is Microsoft Project and not Jira. Maybe someday we'll invest into having a Jira and a full agile PMO in a box system for agile projects and agile PMOs. But QuickStart is not. Harmony can be, because Harmony is a 100% tailor-made system. We give the framework here, but if that's not the processes you wish, we can change the whole lot and rewrite your process into that box and connect it with whatever tool you want us to. But that's outside of the quick start scope, which is fixed price, 99 days, etc. This would take longer. Now on the scale agile, let me just do a parenthesis on this. We're talking about SAFe, right? SAFe portfolio management. The scalable agile approach has got, to my understanding, some gaps and lacks in the portfolio selection, as I conducted a full seminar during the PMI 50-year anniversary in the US last year about this very subject, portfolio management in agile world and portfolio management in waterfall world. So I'm very happy to answer that. But in a nutshell, no, this was oriented in waterfall to start with. But if it's a success, we will make it evolve to or more demand to an agile approach with tools like Jira or Trello or others. Yes, it's a possibility, but not in the quick start.
Okay, there's also another question. How do you integrate Planisware with TPG Harmony? I mean, it seems a parallel of covering the same cases, same topic.
Yeah, well, except that Planisware we are also partner with, so it's next in our development checklist. We're spoiled, or we're so acquainted to Microsoft Project Online. Our first reflex was, let's do it with that tool. We implement and deploy OPX2 from Planisware, and it would be a very good candidate. We're also thinking about Project for the Web, the new Microsoft Project Lite interface, because if you want to do Quick Start, that's light enough to do Quick Start. We believe it's a little bit too light, so we still stick on Project Online, especially since you can make your Harmony Quick Start evolve into something bigger later. That's something we haven't been asked, but this is just a basic framework. You can make it evolve, add more feature in your tool set, add more processes as time goes on. This is just a starting point. But obviously the investment cost from us is to do those automatic linkage between your PMO in the box and the tool, whatever it is. We chose Project for a starter. Definitely OPX2 is on our list since we deploy it pretty much every day on our client sites. So yeah, it's not there yet, but it's on our list.
Okay, here someone asks, why exclude communication in your QuickStart processes?
Oh my gosh, if you knew how much fight we had on this, so many experts are on the table, and this is a limited list. You can find more than that. And why did you put closing? And I wanted to put quality, and we had to vote and score our votes, and it ended up like this. And if you put too many experts around the table, everybody's going to lead towards his truth. So again, we didn't put it in there, but it's no problem. We can add it. We quoted that the time for a complementary workshop, complementary writing the templates and the rules and the processes, and injecting that in the PMO in the box and linking that with the tool if needed takes between 1 and 3 days per topic. So it's feasible to add items, and there's no justification why we took those 7s and not other. Let me show them again. It was really, believe me, it was 5 experts on Teams fighting for 2 weeks before everybody agreed to that, and it was a compromise, so everybody was disappointed at the end. But we feel it's around those, but we're okay for critics and saying I want something else or this doesn't concern me.
Okay, then 2 more to go. Can the QuickStart pricing be downscaled for smaller PMOs? For instance, 3 members.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. So first of all, yes, that assumption of scope drives the cost here, of course, and we would be more than happy to recode, do a new quotation based on your picking and on your scale, of course. We had to set an example, and to tell you the truth, the first version was only 5 PMO members, 10 project managers, 5 resource manager, and 20 resources. And somebody in TPG tapped on my shoulder saying, you're never going to have a PMO that's going to buy 150,000 euro for 20 resources. That's never going to happen. Scale it up. So we can scale up or scale down, definitely. Please contact us on the side or after, and we'd be very happy to check and review your specs, your environment, and see how we can work it out.
Okay, and now we have the last question here in my list. How is the 99 days working while real projects are running? How about during COVID, remote working?
That's very interesting because we're doing all that remotely. Surprisingly, we learned. We are currently pitching a sale to the United Arab Emirates, a client there, who say you're not going to show up on site. Everything have to do it remote, and we can do all that remote. It's longer, agree. Training people in a room, after 1 day, everybody's fed up. Training people on Teams, after half a day, everybody's fed up. So you got to find other ways and other situation and other forms of workshop and etc. And yes, 99 days is when we get access to the site and when the client is not slacking and sleeping and everybody's on board. And yes, that's what we can do. The question is, what can you do as a client? Do you have the availability of your teams to work on this? We're going to take quite a lot of days of workshop together. Is your IT team ready to embark the solution? And all that, of course, may impair the speed at which we deploy. But what we promise is that we on TPG, we can do it 99 days if you follow the rhythm, which is not that bad. I mean, look at the schedule and the Gantt. We start with workshop, and then half of the workshop down, we start to build the tool because we got information to build it. And once the tool and the processes and the PMO in the box are all ready, then we do the training. So yeah, it's feasible in 99 days for level 3. Now, if your program is the organization of the next Paris 2024 Olympic Games, forget it. QuickStart is not the answer. It's a real harmony, and that's going to take longer. Yes.